we're getting ready to stab the 6.1 back into the 300. Like I said in the previous video, we're still waiting on him to order his radiator hoses, and hopefully they'll be in next week so we can finish putting things up next weekend and fire the car up. But for now, we're getting ready to get the engine hoist ready. We still got to get the engine off the engine stand, put the plate on, put the flywheel on. And right now, Ethan is getting the jack up underneath the tranny so we can get it up there so we can adjust it as needed as we put the motor in. He finally got all the wiring harness done on this, so it really looks good. So right now we're just getting ready, he's getting it up in the air there, to start getting things set up to where we can get her back in. All right, now we got it off the engine stand. We're going to turn around and get the plate on and get the flywheel on, get it torqued down, and get ready to stab it. All right, so Ethan's putting the flywheel back in and putting a little dooba-dabbers on there because we don't want them to come back out. So always use your Loctite. All right, we got her down in the hole. Right now we're just getting a couple of tranny bolts started here in the back. And we're gonna check underneath, make sure, it looks like everything popped in on the dowels. So we're just getting a couple of starter bolts on it. So not giving us too much trouble. All right, she's set down in place. Now getting ready to move the engine stand stuff out of the way due to our lack of space in the garage. So we'll get this moved out of the way, get it broke down, get it put back up. And then we'll get the car back on the ground, push the car back into the garage. So that way there we can shut the door. And then start doing everything we can underneath. After we jack it up, put some jack stands on it, get everything bolted in, get the headers put in. And then start doing the accessories. Gotta love headers. All right, well, Ethan finally got the passenger side header in. And the header fits nice up there. It's just getting all the bolts in. A little bit of a struggle, but we got them in. Right now what he's doing is putting the little clips in on the header bolts, which are basically these. That way, in case these try to back out, they can't. So he's working on that right now. I'm getting ready to put the coil packs in on the passenger side. And then we'll get to the driver's side header. But you know as well as I do, even with the old school cars and stuff, when you run headers, those things have a habit of the bolts backing off. You know, I always constantly tighten them because some of these heat cycles and stuff like that. But at least these clips, you know, they're a pain in the butt sometimes to get in there. They'll keep the bolt from coming out, backing out. And so we'll see how it works on this. This is actually the first time me using these things, and Ethan. But it came with the headers that he bought. So we're going to use them. All right, after getting the long tube headers in, they fit up in there quite nice. They went in up to the engine nice. It was just a pain in the butt getting the bolts in, but they are in now. So that part of it's done. Ethan's going to sit there and clean up the cross member in the back and the trans pan from where the remaining seal was leaking at. And he's going to go ahead and replace the transmission mount. And so he's going to get started on that. I'm working on the front right now, putting all the accessories back in and getting ready to put the radiator on. All right, just like that, I got the alternator on, power steering back on, AC compressor. All the accessories are hooked back up, the belt's on. And let me tell you something, this belt tensioner he got here, it's a no slip, so it's a little bit more tension on it. Man, it was nice trying to get that belt back on. So I've already got the lower radiator hose in. Like I said, I'm getting ready to stab in the radiator. And it's kind of one of those parts we're waiting on as well. And he ordered these things online, and they came on sale, so he went ahead and got them. The company is Mishimoto. And so he wanted to get some, I guess, some special hoses for this. The durability is supposed to be a lot better than stock, so we'll see how that goes. But I think they only came in blue and black. So he got blue. So all right, let me get things set up and get this radiator back in. Just a look at that. So we were able to find a new radiator here locally. We thought we got to go online and order it. Ethan called the dealership, and of course, dealerships always want triple the amount for them. So we lucked out, found this heavy-duty one with the right inlet and outlets for the hoses, and it was like right at about $200 versus $350, $400 from the dealer. So luckily we got that. That came in yesterday. So he picked it up last night. So hopefully we won't have to go through this again. So now I'm gonna go ahead and bolt everything back together here, get the hoses done. And then once Ethan gets the transmission mount done, then we're going to drop the car down and finish everything here up here on top. Man, it's just too nice of a day to be working on a car. Motorcycle ride, maybe a little trip to the lake, but we gotta get her done. So, all right, guys, we're getting close. Ethan just putting the upper radiator hose back on. put it on earlier. I forgot I needed to put the fan in first. We've been on this since morning, so a little tired. So anyway, he's getting that back on. Like I said, car's back on the ground. We went ahead and pulled the exhaust out from underneath it, the mid pipe's back, because it's going to shop, have new pipes made, and then they can put the system back on it. So we didn't want it hitting the ground on the way there. But got the intake all back together, all cleaned out. New O-rings on the injectors, new gaskets. So she's almost ready to go in, plug up a few things. We're going to prime it. And once we get the oil pressure and stuff up, then we'll hook the injectors and everything up, finish it up, and hopefully she'll fire off. All right, well, we're going to try to get the intake in without disturbing the gasket. Still got to plug in, vacuum in the back, mass sniffer in the back, and very carefully set it in place.
Plug them out the battery.
Just go plug it.
I guess I just don't put this back on because I don't really know.
Well, there's no purpose. All right, Ethan just got finished hooking the battery up and turning everything over, getting some oil pressure built up. Now we're plugging the injectors in, and so she's gonna fire up. All right, fingers crossed.
job, brother.
Yeah. So there you go, guys.
That's copyrighted. My bad, Cletus.
But anyway, guys, she's together. She fired up. She runs. Great oil pressure. And so now we just need to recheck the fluids, power steering, get the exhaust done on it, and should be ready to roll. Well, that, guys, you have a good one, a safe one.
We'll see you down the road.
What he said.